Welcome to another episode of History in Your Own Backyard. I'm Jacqueline Cox, and today we are here at St. John Lutheran Church right outside Sunman, Indiana. They are celebrating their 100th and 90th anniversary. Stay tuned and we'll tell you all about it. I'm here with Dolores Fuchs, one of the members of the congregation. Welcome to the show, Dolores.
Oh, thank you, Jackie.
Tell me, how long have you been a member?
Since 1946.
Wow. That could be considered your whole life?
Yes. Yes, just about.
You said you were baptized here?
Yes. I think it was July 5th, 1946, the same day that my older brother and sister were confirmed.
So everyone, the whole family, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite part about the celebration today?
Just the camaraderie and the peacefulness of it, and homecoming with former pastors.
That's wonderful.
And former members.
Former members. You have a lot. I see you have a lot today.
Yes,
that's wonderful. Is everyone's pretty excited to see each other?
Yes.
What are your favorite memories about the church here?
Oh, probably growing up, it was Sunday school and Bible school in the summertime.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What makes that stand out to you?
We had really good teachers, and the lessons we learned, and then there was always something fun involved in it too.
Right.
And
some art projects, some learning.
Yes. And in Bible school we had craft time,
right,
and then play time too, of course. So
absolutely,
it was just fun.
Wonderful. What can you tell us you're looking forward for the future for the church?
Hopefully we can grow some and fill up some more pews.
Fill up some more pews? 190 years is a long time,
yeah,
right?
It is. It is.
Well, maybe we'll get 190 more.
I won't be here, but I hope we do.
I hope you do too. So Dolores, tell me more about Luther League. Well,
growing up in our teen years, there was confirmation class, or catechism class as we called it then, and we went for 2 years, and then after confirmation we had a youth group called Luther League. So we had meetings about once a month on a Sunday night, and we had some fun times. We'd go bowling or hay rides and things like that.
So it's a really good social knit group.
It was.
For the teenagers.
Yes.
What a great idea.
For being out here in the country where there wasn't a lot going in, we look forward to that.
I would have too. I'm here with Evelyn Meyer, another member of the congregation. Welcome to the show, Evelyn.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. So tell us, what are you looking forward to, the 190th celebration today?
Yeah, just, you know, previous ministers, of course I didn't know all of them. I now belong to a Methodist church, and I'm organist there and treasurer and choir director and the whole bit, you know. So kind of carried from here. We used to have a big choir, and of course I was organist for that.
So you got started here as an organist?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, I was I believe a junior in high school, and the girl before me had played. She went to college, so they got me in as a young person. And I'd had piano for a long time before that. I probably started that in 4th or 5th grade. I don't know. Just, you know.
So you were very polished by the junior in high school.
You know, I just loved playing piano, organ, either one, you know. And I was in the band in high school, so I guess music's kind of my thing, you know. But I still am doing organist, and we had a big choir here for many years. In fact, we had two. We had what we called an intermediate choir, which was younger people, and then we had a senior choir, which was our adults. And so we just, you know, I was with Pastor Fry, started, and then I think Pastor Swan followed him. I'm not even sure of all of them, but then I, of course, left. So, but I come back every once in a while. And
so it sounds like you've had a pretty long history here at the church. What are you looking forward to going forward for this church?
Just the way things are going now, just that they continue. You know, I
have a lot of faith for 190 years. They've been doing pretty well.
Yes, but, you know, things are just kind of falling apart, it seems like, in places. And I don't like to say that, but we have trouble with our own church getting the people. You know, the pandemic just kind of
tell us about your favorite
thing up.
Tell us about your favorite memories here then.
Oh, just Sunday school, Bible school. Of course, being organist, I got involved in a lot. I was even, I remember my mother getting me out of school to bring me here to do a funeral or something.
Right.
You know.
Wow. So it was really important.
All of that really involved. Important. Yes.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your insight today and all your good memories.
All right.
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
I'm here with Dan Goodapple, another member of the congregation. Welcome, Dan.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to speak with you today. So tell me, this is the 190th celebration. What's exciting about today?
Well, one of the things that really caught my attention today was having some of the old pastors back, and one of which was my cousin June.
Oh!
So we grew up together, and she said in her talk today that we were all baptized the very same day, and that was by Pastor Tom's father, Pastor Tom Fry's father, and who he later came back and ministered here as well. And just seeing some of the old faces, and Pastor Nugent, of course, and hearing their memories and kind of reliving some of the old days was nice for me. And of course, just always seeing the church full.
Right.
And now we're looking forward to a good meal. So.
Absolutely, absolutely. So tell me some of your favorite memories about the church.
Well, I was born, raised here. My family has always been a part of this church. In fact, I don't know if he'd be great or maybe even one more, but Jacob Goodapple was one of the founding fathers of the church, the signers of the original doctrine.
Wow.
And that's where part of where my son's name, who is Jacob Goodapple,
really
came from.
That's wonderful.
And I don't have that document with me, but I have seen it. And there's my great-great-grandparents and so forth that are out here in the cemetery. And so I've always been here, so lifelong. We used to have very full Sundays like we did today. It was commonplace to have to bring out extra seating and stuff. We don't have that today, but we keep trying to get them back in here.
190 years is going strong.
It is, and we had a really good youth program with confirmation classes and Sunday school, and so I grew up with all these kids, peers that just created a lot of fantastic memories over the years. And you know, everybody's truly family. You really did think about it that way. And so I suppose just it would be hard for me to start picking little points. It's just the whole experience, the whole trip, and I've really enjoyed that growing up in this environment.
Just the lifelong fellowship.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Dan. I was glad to have you here today.
Thank you.
I'm here today with Pastor Tom, who is not only a member of the congregation, but a former pastor. Welcome, Pastor Tom.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be here.
Nice to be here, too. So we're having a 190th celebration today. Tell me what's exciting about it.
Coming home.
Yeah.
My father was a pastor here, and I grew up here till I was almost 13. So I started catechism here and everything. As I shared in the congregation, with this congregation today, I was baptized the day I was born because they didn't think I was going to live, and grew up as a PK, but now PK is an old term. PK stands for preacher's kid.
Oh.
But now the new term is TO.
Which is?
Theological offspring.
Ah.
So it sounds much more sophisticated.
Much more sophisticated.
But I was a PK at the time here, and I was an only son, had 4 sisters, and so it was just kind of the cute thing to say when people say, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I'd say, I want to follow in Daddy's footsteps and be a preacher.
Right.
And yet, through Sunday school classes and vacation Bible school and many faithful teachers they had here at St. John Hubble's, it grew into reality.
Yeah.
And I started catechism 1 year here and then was confirmed when Dad took a call up to Ohio, Genera, Ohio. But still have fond memories of all the teachers we had here. And that cute thing to say became a calling, and I felt called into the ministry, and never dreamt that I'd be back here at St. John Hubble's, because Dad was here for 18 years, and I had been mostly in Ohio, and then I got a call to the state of Wyoming, which I didn't think I would go to, but they said, fly out, what do you got to lose? So I flew out to Wyoming, and my wife and I, on the way out, we said there's got to be 1,000 reasons why God does not want us in Wyoming. And we went out there and couldn't find any reasons not to go. And so we went out there and then planned on retiring from there. But then about 2013 or 14, my best friend from grade school, Wayne Jenner, hi Wayne, can I say that? Too late now.
We're okay.
He became the president of the congregation. They were without a pastor, and they interviewed me, and I came and served as a pastor. So it's kind of interesting because they knew my dad as a single man, straight out of seminary.
Right.
And then he got married when he was here and left with 5 kids, 5 of us kids. And then me, the son, I come in as an old geezer and retire from here. So my dad started his ministry here and I ended my ministry here. So
what a long journey and a full circle things to happen.
Yep. And it's all in God's hands. So it worked out perfect. And the people here are just, they're fantastic. And, you know, of course, I knew them as a kid.
Right.
A lot of them were my Sunday school teachers and Bible school teachers and so on. So I knew them and they knew me. They knew me as kind of being ornery too a little bit. But I'll never forget one of the times when I was here, I pulled a prank on somebody, not during worship.
Okay.
Pulled a prank and she said to me, "You're just like your father." And I said, "I'll take that as a compliment." So
you said thank you.
I did. And that was pretty much true. So, but like I said, it's fantastic people. And I got a lot of memories. We grew up, our family grew up in the old parsonage, the old 2-story house up the road. And then while we were here, I think it was in 56 or 57, they built the new parsonage. So we moved over to the new parsonage and lived in that until we got the call to Ohio. And so
off to Ohio you went.
Yep, I became a Buckeye. I'm still a Hoosier at heart, though.
No judgment from me. No judgment from me at all. So do you have any other favorite memories you'd like to share today?
Just the people, riding bikes. Back then, a lot less danger, it seemed like. You know, we could ride our bikes anywhere. We rode our bikes to school. I started school over in Jackson Township, which I'm not even sure that building's there anymore. And then they closed that down and we went up to Sunman, and then they closed that one down and we went to the senior high school, and now that's the grade school, I guess. But the school I went to, 5th and 6th grade, they tore that down. So, but we rode our bikes just about any place. And it was Weisberg, that was the closest town. And this was
the children of the congregation.
Yeah. Everybody. Just a lot of friends, a lot of kids that you ride around with. And it's interesting because in my very first church, I served in Payne, Ohio, and it's due east of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Okay. And as I was going around and getting to know the members of the congregation, I went to visit a man in the nursing home. And as we're getting to know each other, I said, "Well, where are you from?" And he said, "Oh, I grew up in Indiana." And I said, "Well, so did I." And I said, "Where?" And he said, "Well, you never heard of the town." And I said, "Well, tell me." He grew up in Weisberg. And it's the closest town. Right. And I said, "Weisberg." I said, "I grew up in Sunman." And so we had something in common. Right. But he told me he was born at the White House at the top of the hill in Weisberg, Indiana. Of course, back then they were born at home. Right. And that's where he was born and grew up.
And you knew that house.
Yeah. Rode past that house. Rode down the hill, loved it, but at the bottom of the hill was railroad tracks, so you had to kind of slow down halfway down the hill.
Well, it seems like no matter where you've gone, you've found the community.
Yeah. Well, and that's what this church is. It's a community of faith. Right. And just it's an honor to be invited back. I hope I'm around for another 10 years so I can come back for the 200th.
Right, wouldn't that be fun? Nothing can replace the fellowship I'm seeing today.
Yeah. So, and the people, you know, they knew me as a kid that was ornery. They respected me as a pastor that came and ministered with them, not just to them, but with them.
With them.
So
it's a journey for everyone.
Yep, it is.
Well, thank you so much for being here today.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
And thank the congregation.
Right, right. I'm here today with Janet Cash, another member of the congregation. Welcome, Janet. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm fine today. I made my macaroni and cheese at home because I live very close here, like 5 minutes away. So partway through the service, I kept thinking, okay, it's going to be dried out. I need to run home.
So you made macaroni and cheese because today's the 190th celebration, correct? Right. We're having a potluck and a celebration.
Oh, yeah. They have more food out there than,
Well, that's so exciting.
3 groups need probably. But anyway, but partway, I forget. We were to the part where you shake hands and stuff. I thought, I'm sneaking out and running home to get it. So that's what I did.
So you took
Nobody missed me.
Nobody even noticed. I'm sure it's delicious macaroni and cheese as well.
I hope. Yeah, it wasn't too dried out yet either,
I don't
so
think
it was
so.
fine.
I think it'll be great.
Yeah.
So the most favorite part about today's celebration?
The songs were good, but they had too many of them.
They had a lot. It was a pretty long sermon today.
Yeah, and some of the, I don't know, it went longer than I thought it would.
A lot of memories were shared.
Yeah,
correct?
that's true.
Yeah, a lot of good songs, a lot of good memories. A lot of pastors kind of relived some days
some
here.
of them I'm trying to think, now how old was I when he was here? Yeah.
So tell us about, you've been a member of the congregation for quite a bit then.
We moved here from Mount Healthy, Ohio in, middle 50s, because I started school out here, at Guilford was this grade school in 56, I think, so 3rd grade, But so I have 2 sisters and 2 brothers. And I know at one time, I think we all sang in the choir and had to wear those robes and had the bows that tied.
Right.
And for some reason, I remember maybe in the winter, we came in the pickup truck. But somehow all of us got in the truck in the front with our choir robes.
Everyone fit.
Yeah,
just a nice little squeeze.
Yeah.
Well, were you on the way to like practice or a concert or such?
To sing in the choir here.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And everyone just piled on it.
I guess somehow, I can remember doing that. And I know, I'm sure if I ask my brothers, they'll tell me what year the truck was because it was older. But we sang in the choir, went to confirmation class, and I'm trying to think. I'd have to look at the pictures to make sure, but I think I had Pastor Fry, the older Pastor Fry, for confirmation.
There's 3, correct? Grandfather, dad, and son, correct?
Right. Well, I don't think the grandfather was ever here, though, was he? I don't think. I don't
think either one of us were there at that time.
I don't remember anything about the grandfather,
But Pastor Fry seems like he was a very loving person.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Listen. And then we did the normal things. I know my mom taught little kids Sunday school in the basement quite a few years. And then I taught when they had the old parish hall, older kids, I don't know, probably 9 or 10 years old. Some that paid attention anyway to Sunday school. For a year or 2, I didn't do it very long.
Right. So it sounds like the church is a big part of the community, but it is also a community itself.
Oh, yeah. Close-knit, really.
Yeah, like family.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here today. It was so wonderful to talk to you.
Oh, thank you. This was interesting. I didn't realize, they were doing this.
Well, it's always trying to try something new, correct?
Yeah, something, So.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And now we're talking with Dale Stutz, another member of the congregation. Welcome, Dale. How are you doing today?
Oh, just wonderful.
It's good. It's a big celebration today. Why don't you tell us about it?
Well, I guess I've been around here for about 60 years, probably involved in the church, because I started out with my mother going to Blue Creek and then come here as a youngster and been involved ever since. Kind of been on council all my life and just dealings with everything.
Right, you have a real long history with the Church of Sounds. What are your favorite parts about the church?
Well, we'd be here all afternoon.
Well,
I guess as a youngster and being involved with the Tri-County Softball League, we played softball. When it first started, it got together as churches where we would play softball in the afternoon, and when you got done, you had a fellowship time where they would grill hot dogs or even open fire and have a stick.
Oh,
and,
wonderful.
You know, have hot dogs and marshmallows and just a fellowship time, which was really nice with your churches all over the community, you know, in the county.
Right. What a nice little program that was. Sounds like that there is a community not only within the church but outside the church. So can you tell us more about the community?
Well, how do I go about that?
Yeah. So it sounds like you've been involved in a lot of things. As far as us being
involved with the community, well, we do a lot. Each month we give to different, you know, the fire department, the life squad, I can't remember them all, but, you know, there's a donation goes once a month throughout the year to take care of all that. We also have we call it, where you collect aluminum cans or collect this or collect
recycling
that.
Program.
Right. We collect all that and it goes to the Tri-County Food Pantry, which raises close to $2,000 a year, which gets given over the Christmas area where they buy hams and turkeys and for the people that, you know, need them. It's
just so important to give back, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Any other memories you can share with us?
I guess one of the funniest ones is when I was president of the congregation and we was Daniel Nugent, which was part of the sermon this morning, but anyhow, he was coming for an interview. And instead of saying Daniel, Johnny Nugent was our state senator at that time. I announced in front of the congregation, Johnny Nugent's coming, and I felt about this high.
You said, or maybe not. That is funny.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for talking with us today.
Okay.
We really do appreciate it.
Okay.
I'm here now with John Cruzy, another member of the congregation. Welcome, John. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine.
It's a great celebration that's going on today. Why don't you tell us about it?
Yeah, it was our 190th anniversary. I'm presently the president of the congregation for this year.
That's a big responsibility.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we had several members that step up and do a lot of things for the planning and organizing it and so forth.
It takes a village, doesn't it?
Yep, takes everybody.
Right. So tell us about the history with yourself and the church.
I was born here and baptized here and confirmed here.
Wow.
And it was one of the neat things. When you got to be confirmation age, you got to light the candles.
Oh,
that was
big responsibility.
That was a big deal. So got to do that. We rotated at that time it was only the male kids, the male boys were able to do the lighting of the candles.
Okay.
And now it doesn't make any difference. But back in my age group, it was only the male.
Very interesting rite of passage, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, and then later on, we had a pastor that came here that before it was always just a pastor served communion, and then when he arrived, then he wanted to get more of the congregation involved. So then I volunteered to help with communion, and so I did that when we had communion, and was one of the participants.
One of your second responsibilities here at the church.
That was a kind of unique.
Seems like
thing, you know, because before that it was just the pastor only.
Right, which can take quite a bit of time.
Right, mm-hmm. And so then I helped and I passed out the bread and the pastor passed out the wine at that time.
Teamwork, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell us some of your favorite memories about the church.
Our softball team. We did. We we had a youth group. Mainly it was just, I was out of high school at that time when we had a really good softball team. And one year we went undefeated. So,
wow.
And Dale Stutz, one of the guys you interviewed, he was also on that team.
Right. So you had a
Really, and it was a co-ed team.
Okay.
And yeah, we had several.
Undefeated. What a feat! What a feat!
Yeah. So, but we've had really sports-wise in our church. We've had the bowling team that did really well many years ago, and then we always had a softball team for many years. Then we had then at one time we had several. We had like kind of the young adults, and then we also had under 16.
Right.
Baseball team that played. And so
it sounds like the church was really focused and made it important to build that camaraderie for everyone.
Right. And then we did, outside activities within the community also.
Okay.
So.
You want to tell us about some of those?
Can't think of anything right offhand.
Okay, that's all right. Well, from what I understand, the church is very involved and very supportive of the community, and it has a very nice fellowship here today.
Right now, we do, presently we're helping with Yes Home.
Okay.
And Safe Passage, and I can't think of the other one, but we do several that we help. And that Yes Home people are kind of unique. I don't know if you're familiar with Yes Home.
No, tell us about it.
It's for kids that really don't have a place to go or something. It's started by a different county sheriff as a place for kids, and so if they're maybe in a little trouble or something, need to be taken. And I'm not sure all about how Yes Home operates, but anyway, we support them at Christmas time.
Oh, wonderful.
And we get names from the Yes Home, and then members buy gifts, for whatever they have on their list, and then we deliver it back to the Yes Home, and then they distribute it to the kids. And then we always get thank you notes from the kids over there, so it works for them and it works for us.
It's just so wonderful to give back, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really
is.
I
think we're one of the few churches that does just Christmas gifts. I mean, other churches do other things for the Yes Home, but I think we're one of the few that does Christmas gifts for the kids.
Well, the kids are important. They are our future.
Right.
Is there anything else you'd like to share about the church today, or your experience or your history?
No, I can't think of anything.
Well, thank you so much for being here today.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. And now we're here with Moses Goodapple, another member of the congregation. Welcome, Moses. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine and dandy. How are you?
Excellent. Thank you for asking. So we have a big celebration today, 190th. Why don't you tell us about it?
So this is kind of big for me. I mean, I haven't been here as long as maybe some of the older members, but I've been going to this church for pretty much, my whole life. I was born, and then I was just raised through this church. So everyone here is it's more than just people I know at church. It's kind of like my family, my holy family. So everyone here, being able to celebrate with them, it's more than just a celebration of the church. It's also a celebration of that kind of family bond that we all have.
That's wonderful. Tell us about your history with the church.
So I was baptized here by one of the pastors up here. I'm completely blanking on the name, I'm sorry. But,
that's okay.
But it was nice seeing all the pastors that I've seen, and Pastor Nugent, he married my parents together and baptized my two older siblings. But then I also had my first communion here, and I'm now confirmed here as a member.
Excellent, excellent. So you have quite a history and quite a bit of family history, it sounds like, too. So tell us any favorite memories about the church.
Favorite memories? I'd say one of my pretty distant memories is when I was a kid, we would put on these little plays, and back when there were more children going to the church, we'd all dress up and kind of act out sort of the birth of Jesus at Christmas, and sometimes I think we'd do plays at Easter too.
So having a little theatrical theme in the church just shows how much you all appreciated each other, it sounds like. Okay. Anything else you'd like to share to us today about the church?
It's just always nice to see everybody fill up the church because, sometimes it's not always as full. Like sometimes more people only come on Christmas or Easter, but being able to see more people come in and see faces you haven't seen for a while, it's always really nice.
It really is. Thank you so much, Moses, for being here today.
Of course, thank you.
Now I'm here with Elwin Adplanel. He's a former member of the congregation, but he's welcome to speak with us today and tell us some of his favorite memories. Welcome, Elwin. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well for my age.
Yeah? Well, I'm glad to have you here today. So this is the 190th celebration of the congregation today. Can you tell us about it?
Well, I'm divided in my feelings. I've recently lost a wife.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And so things are a little bit different than they were a few years ago.
Right.
We were, well, I was an educator, and I traveled considerably. We lived in Florida and Philadelphia and places like that. So this was home.
Right.
And we came back and we spent a few years here, and then my brother is active at the Sunman Community Church in Sunman.
Okay.
And so when my wife passed, it was natural, then I went back and shared with him. So.
But tell us about the history, your history with the church.
With this church?
Mm-hmm.
Well, my wife was Lutheran. I was a member of the community church all my life. And when I married her, then of course we would come here as Lutherans. And we know all the people because we were born and raised in this area.
Right.
So it was natural, and we loved everybody. But then when the wife passed, then life changes for me. And so my brother, or my son rather, is active in the community church at Sunman, and so naturally I went back there and...
Right. Seems like a common theme with this church, though, is just there's always a sense of community and belonging, no matter how long you've left or how long it takes to come back. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, we have so many friends that go here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's natural.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorite memories?
Oh, too many to recount.
Tell us one that you think your wife would have.
Well, one memorable event was I was on the church board some years ago, and there was a sewer problem, and on Thanksgiving Day I helped work on the sewer out in front. Oh, that's the most memorable.
I mean, that would be a memorable event for me too, especially on Thanksgiving.
I was the president of the congregation at the time too.
So it's a lot of responsibility. I'm glad you were there for.
Well.
Anything else you'd like to share?
Well, we just have so many friends in the area. It's just a wonderful experience to come back and spend some time. There's no one specific event that I can say that really stands out. It's just a sense of a communion with the locals.
Right. There's a fellowship here. That's
important. A fellowship,
important.
yes, and it's so comfortable.
Right.
That's one of the things.
Because it's home.
In today's society, you feel like a foreigner sometimes.
Right.
But here, this is home.
This is home.
Right.
Thank you so much, Elwyn, for being here today.
Well, thank you.